layout for you today because I'm going to start building out some Easter layouts. Now, don't worry, even if you don't celebrate Easter, it's all fine, because there's lots of fun things to do with spring. And I am going to be using my volume 4 book. I hope you saw in the description what we are going to be doing, because this book has got so many Easter layouts. It's incredible. So let's get straight into it, and let's turn this camera around because we are going to have some stenciling fun. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so this is volume 1. Volume 1, it's not volume 1. This one's volume 4. And what we're going to do is, let me just close that off so I can see what I'm doing. Perfect. This is the best book on the planet. And it's this section in the middle. So it's divided up, this one, because they're all divided up a bit differently, aren't they? So this one's divided up in 1 photo, 2 photos, 3 and 4s are together. And then it goes to themed. So there's just so much, like there's a zoo one there. I don't know whether you could see that. So cool. You've got Halloween, you've got Christmas, you've got beach, holidays. So many things. Okay. So, and then Easter, look how many you've got. New home even. My goodness. Valentine's and love. Birthdays. And then look at this one. I love this one. Maybe we should do that one this week as well, just because it's super fun. And then look at this one. Let's just honestly start having a look through and you will be like, oh yeah, I can do that. I can do this. I can do that. But the one we're going to attempt, I think, is probably the hardest. And that's this one down here. Now, there's a couple of different things that can create that bunny rabbit. Okay. So hello from Carmen from a balmy Windlesham. Is it hot balmy or is it just sort of wet? Trying to I spoke to my nana and she said it's so wet at the moment. So hello, Tammy, from a rainy. Oh, I've accidentally hid that. Sorry, I didn't mean to hide that. It's coming back. And hello, Linda from Pittsburgh. What? Let me just go back and find. Oh gosh, I'm not very good at doing this, am I? Anyway, don't worry about it. Tammy, I hope you're well. Whatever your weather is, I can't get that message back. So there's, like I say, there's different ways in which you can create this. Now, I'm going to, hello from Ruth from North, I think that's you, isn't it? North Dakota. Warm today, misty and damp yesterday, Carmen says. Oh my goodness, crazy weather, man. Although I do like this time of year in the UK because it's like, oh, that promise of summer is on its way. So that bunny rabbit there, you can create just by cutting out some paper, and you might have a die cut machine, which is already patterned and maybe Easter style. What I'm about to show you really applies to any shape. Hello from sunny Tennessee. Trees and flowers are blooming nicely. Oh my goodness, Patricia, that just sounds amazing. Amazing. Just in time for your springtime kit. So this is what we're going to do. Now, yesterday I drew and tried to copy. This is just printer paper. And like I say, this can apply to any single shape that you are creating. So this is printer paper. And I just kind of drew around. And it wasn't the first go, guys. This was about the third go that I got that shape. But if you can't get that shape by hand, I recommend going online, going into Word, downloading a bunny rabbit shape, printing it off, and then cut from the inside. So, for example, what I did is, and the lovely thing about printer paper is you can literally just fold it, snip, and then cut out. And at that point as well, you can change your shape a little bit. This is why I was pre-cut, because I changed my shape several times whilst it was cut. And it was quite a nice way of doing it, actually. So as you can see, there's lots of little flowers, eggs, and treats inside. Trish, hello! Finally caught you at last. Hope you're keeping well, honey. Trish, I am, and I hope you are doing well in the south of England there. Last time we spoke, you were coughing and everything. So I hope you are better, fully better. Now, this paper is from the Heart of Spring kit. Unfortunately, in the States, this is fully sold out. So I can't even give you that at the moment. So this is what I'm planning on doing. This is the printer paper. I'm basing it on this lovely green. And you need a light background for this one, guys. Even whites is really good as well. Then what you want to do is you want to get all of your lovely colours out. And then you want to get all your stamps out. Now, I've chosen, what have I chosen here? I've chosen a heart stamp, and I've chosen my flower stamps for this one. And then the first thing, though, you really want to do is kind of define that line just a little bit more. And the way that I'm going to do that, I've got a nice hot cup of tea here. Whew. Perfect, perfect. Now, like I say, this could be a circle. This could be a mushroom, Carmen. This could be anything, any shape that you want. This you can create what I'm doing today. So like I say, the first thing I want to do is sort of just define that edge. So I'm coming around. My Victorian velvet is just well and truly on its last legs. I'm actually going to stick this down with a bit of sticky tape. How weird in the night that I dreamt about adding the washi tape. I tell you, the things I dream about all night, or even if I'm not asleep, which is more often the case with me. I should just get up and start creating. That's what I should do. But I always think, oh no, I'm going to go back to sleep any minute now. It's going to happen. And it never does. Right. So, and the lovely thing is that if I got up and started creating, you'd all still be awake, which is fabulous. I'm feeling the mushroom idea. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I thought you might do, Carmen. I thought you might. And I can't scroll down, which is a bit of a shame. Yes, all good. Been a nice bright day today, and just found out I'm getting another new guest grandchild. Super excited. Oh my goodness, Trish. Definitely scrapbooking world for you then. That is so exciting. Now, once you've cut and congratulations, by the way, once you've cut your stencil out, the lovely thing you can do, is you can go in and add little bits and bobs. So maybe they can add a little nose or whatever you want to add, really. I'm going to spray this. I'm so fed up at how slow it's going. This is probably going to wreck the printer paper, but just a little spritz because, we haven't got all day to make it smooth and lovely. Now, this is, like I say, this is a sort of a slow version, a fast version of what should probably take just a little bit more time, particularly with your blending, because otherwise you get all your marks. But I've never been very patient at blending, to be honest. I don't have the patience for things like that. Now, also my ink is well and truly on the last kind of legs. Now I'm just going to come in. I can, even if I wanted to, give that another spritz, but all I'm really wanting to do, and you don't probably need to do anywhere near as much as I've done, is all you're wanting to do is just get those edges in, okay? Because those edges are going to define the shape. I've gone a little bit too hard and I probably didn't need to go that far. But anyway, I have to excuse my large blocks. For some reason, ever since my last crop, I can't find my small blocks. But anyway, it's all good. So we'll use these big mamas. Now what I'm going to do, just going to get rid of any wetness, because I think any wetness on there is not going to be very happy. I'm going to actually come over and just see what Victorian Velvet does. And then I'm going to just start stamping. Oh, yeah, lovely. I kind of want to keep just some two subtle colours. I think I might just introduce a bit of speckled egg in here. But I really, like I say, want to keep those colours really subtle. Again, I'm choosing to go over the sides quite a bit just to help define that shape even more. I'm going to do this one in speckled egg. Don't need to change my colours, but I think I will. And I might end up doing this and go, actually, I don't like it. So we might stop that one. But what we're doing is we're really trying to create a lovely, lovely pattern. You really, ideally, should start off with your largest stamp first. It definitely makes it easier. But because my colours are so subtle, you can actually layer and layer, and it really doesn't matter too much. I'm just going to bring that in again. I just want to get another one of those flowers in the middle there. I'm going to just tilt it a bit. And I think I'm going to have another one up here that's sort of coming in on a different direction. All right, great. Okay, let's leave them just for now. And then let's come in and let me just see. Oh, I can't wait to allow my grandchild to help with these ideas. Yes. Oh my goodness. This is such a fun kind of activity one. Now, here's my favorite heart stamp. I cut this out of a cork a long time ago. And if you are in our stamping workshop, I'm actually going to show you how to do that. So the stamping school, we've got our last one in a couple of weeks. Now, but you really have to prime these if you haven't used them for a long time, because the cork is just so dry and you really do want to use some of your stronger inks. So I actually might excuse the dog and practice on another piece of paper. Actually, it won't really matter if I practice on there because it's going to be pattern. Like I say, I haven't used this one for a long time. So they take a bit of time to get juicy, the cork stamps, but they're fun. Excuse my dog, who seems to think that every noise is a potential threat. All right, just finishing off with these little hearts. Okay, now I'm going to lift it off and have a look, because I think we're all desperate, aren't we? You could put writing in there. You could, stamp words is a really lovely effect. Lots of other different things. There is my Easter bunny, stenciled and stamped to glorious perfection. It's such a lovely, simple idea, and it gives you such great results. So that is the first part. Oh, I'm making a right mess here, peeps. A right mess. Okay, so now what we're going to do, and like I say, you can make that darker, lighter, you can make it a mushroom, you can make it whatever you want to make it. You can even do a flower, which is a lovely idea as well. So, you know, you really have got lots and lots and lots of ideas. And then next to it, it's quite literally the photograph just right next to it. So very, very plain, very simple. But I would like to say, if you're a multi-photo user, one thing you could do, let me just get a selection of other photos here. You could have, say these are big, you could have a whole line of photos going all the way up one side. You could do that. Say you're a 6x4 photo user, so you might want 1, 2, 3. You could have 3 of those coming down the side. So don't feel you just have to do one, even though the sketch might say I'm doing 1. You know, you might want to use 1 or 2, 3 or 4. One other thing to note, if you've made your stencil and you really like it, you can transfer this to something like vellum's really, really good. Anything that's a non-porous surface will give it longevity, particularly a thick one. So these acetate sheets are really good for stencils. A lot, you know, to be honest with you, a lot of packaging these days has got some really good stencil kind of usage that you could do as well. So then you can just keep it in. I've got a whole folder of things like this, like telephones, you name it, kookaburras, and they're all in a plastic cellophane. So you can use them over and over again. So that's a really nice thing to do. Acetate. Yeah, that's really, really good. I love it. It's great. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to make this photograph kind of blend in with what we've got here. So there's a couple of different ways that we can do that. One is I want to just make that pop. So I've just left a little small line around from printing it off, which I like. I do like. But now I'm going to come in and I'm going to just build it out a little bit more. So I think I might use a little bit of this paper, which I love. Yep, I love this. I'm just going to tear it because I can't be bothered to get my paper cutter out. And in actual fact, I quite like the torn book. It's not that I can't be bothered to get my paper cutter out. That sounded very lazy. It's that I actually really like the white line that a torn edge gives you when you tear it like that. So much so that I'm going to go and add my white line in along this side. Okay, it's just, look at the difference. Can you see that white line? That's what a torn edge does. My laziness does actually lead to, you know, some kind of creative reasoning. Right. Excuse me while I stop to having my tea, but I can't function without tea. Who can? That's my question. Who can? Now, did I want to add another little bit of white behind there just to blend in what we've got going on here? Maybe, maybe not. But one thing I might want to consider doing is stamping out these that's inside the pattern onto a piece of white paper and cutting them out. Now, I've just got a piece of white paper next to me that is printer paper. It's not ideal, not printer paper, photographic paper. It's not the best thing to stamp on, so we'll just see how it goes, and if it doesn't, I'll go and get my proper white paper. Printer paper is the worst to stamp on. It's sort of somehow, because obviously it's designed to absorb a certain ink off whatever printer you've got, and sometimes it doesn't like what it's what I'm trying to make it do. But this one seems to be quite happy. This Ah, I think we're back. No, we're not. Checking the connection. What's happened? Guys, if you've come back, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happened. It literally just switched off. So I'm just putting my camera back the other way because it starts on this side. So I'm so sorry about that. Not sure what it was doing, but here we all are back again. And it gave me a bit of time to fussy cut out some flowers, and I'll go a little bit faster for you. So did that work? Yay, we're back. Sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm not sure my restream just went, nah, I'm done now. It went, and so I decided to go and have breakfast, I think. Right. So like I was saying, this is about grabbing consistency across your page. Now that I've got this in black and white, there's a small bit of me that thinks, I'm wondering whether actually we could include a little bit of black inside there. So I'm actually, first of all, I'm going to do is just sort of trial it on my piece of paper that I've got here and just see what it might look like, just adding a little bit of black ink in there. Because I've talked about consistency and then I've gone, well, I haven't really used black ink at all. So I might just try it. Let's just try it. Let's try it with the black heart, should we? Which is a little bit nerve-wracking because it's a bit of an inconsistent stamp, what you're getting with the cork one. But it's fun. It's really good fun. And I've used this a lot. Yeah, so you're not getting such a good print with that. I keep coming in and just grabbing that. And one down here. And maybe one in here. Beautiful. So I do like that. It's kind of polka dot-ish as well, which I like. Love the texture it adds. Yes. Oh, sorry about my blinking streaming service. All right, great. Now that I've added that in there, I actually think it's starting to come together. I might tuck these behind. Don't want to lose any of the photo with this one because we haven't, you know, like if we cut anything over, I'm going to really cut into the photo and I don't want to do that. Now, last but not least, I want to add a bit of texture all the way. I think it's top and tail with this one. So with this particular one, I've got texture at the top and texture at the bottom. And the way that I think I'm going to do that, what should I do? I've got a lovely long texture stamp here that I could include. I think I'm going to go with that. This is like a row of, I would probably say like a row of wheat, but I'm not sure that's quite the term, but we'll go with it. I'm going to add that along there. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a spot for me to add some words and then join it back up again. Let me just overlap that a bit. And then what I can do is I can go, well, this bit I want to write and join it up as well. So Easter 2023, and then come back in and just grab that last bit. So it sort of flows quite nicely. Do you see what I mean? Look at that. I love that look. And then the same thing down here. Now, even though I've got pattern down here, I don't care. I'm going to bring that consistency in. I'm using a rather large acrylic block, and I do apologise. I'm not going to leave any words for that one on this one, because otherwise I don't think they'll be seen. All right, so that's kind of the gist, and we've definitely... Hi, Anna, Janet in Nebraska. It's snowing here today. Oh, my goodness me.
You poor thing, Janet. Although it hasn't been as bad as last year from recollection. All right, so I've kind of done everything in there, but there's one thing I haven't done, and that is, looking at it, that is the little eggs that are inside that. So I'm going to pull out my egg stencil. Now, if you don't have an egg stencil, again, you can do exactly what I did with the bunny rabbit, and you can cut it yourself. So you don't have to have it. But I'm going to bring this over the top and just add this in. What colours? What colours? Let's go safe. Let's stick with what we've got, remembering that when you're using stamps and stencils, you can never do too many as long as you keep with the same tones and the same colour. And that's one of the beautiful things about stenciling, is that you can layer and layer and layer and layer. And that's what sets a stencil apart to a stamp. Now, obviously, you can stamp lighter, but I think you have less control than you do if you are stenciling. And that's what I love about stenciling. I'm just putting one of these eggs on the edge here, because I just think that would be quite nice. And then maybe we might have another one down here as well. Should have done this at the beginning, but I completely forgot about the eggs. Got so carried away with everything else, I completely forgot. All right, so I'm just going to come in and just layer that over the top. And then what you can do, oh, my wrist is getting locked. Oh, and then what you can do is you can come in, let's remove that. How cute is that? And then you can come in and do your stenciling or stamping over the top. So we've just seen that I've used that stamp here. So I can come in and I can add little, I wish I could find my little blocks. I don't know where they've all gone. They're probably rummaged somewhere in a little bit of, paper or something underneath something. All right, let's come in and let's just clean up the bits we don't want, and we can just layer them over the top, and you can start building out bit by bit. I love painting Easter eggs. In fact, I've got a new recipe this year. Last year we did the Greek Easter eggs and did the dyeing, and that was super fun. But I found a new dye, which is not a new dye, but a new recipe to dye them, which is with bicarbonate soda and vinegar. And then you use your kind of like gel dyes that you would use I've used them for the kids' cakes in the past, and I cannot wait. I think we might have that little flower down there. All right. So many other things that I could do. It really is. I could just keep going and going and going with it. But it is super, super fun to create something like this. One thing that's bothering me is the fact that I've got this really strong tan and brown orange coming on here, and then I've got none of it in here. So what I think I might do, I know this is the wrong type of orange, but I just feel I need something in there. So I'm going to actually come in and I'm going to go a bit wild. Now we'll lose our first stamp on a piece of paper because this is really bright. This is called carved pumpkin. So I'm just going to put the first one on there, and then I'm going to come in. I think I'm just going to try and add a little bit more. The other colour I could do, actually, come to think of it, yeah, let's do the other colour, is like a sepia. It just needs something, doesn't it? You know, they look like they're two separate things. And if you can't see the detail on this, I will put a photo up at the end, and I might just move my camera in a little bit. If you're watching this on Insta, you're going to find that you will get a better view on Facebook. But Facebook, for whatever reason, doesn't like to push this particular live out. But if you do use Facebook, you're going to get definitely a better view. It'll be larger screen as well. Anyway, let's just carry on putting this in because it is looking better already, having that darker brown in there. It's now getting a bit messy, my pattern, but that's all right. That's okay. I'm not too worried. It's actually getting like wildlifey, which I quite like that, you know? And we can just clean off certain parts of a stamp. So we just want that top part. Just come in, clean it off. I don't want all the extra. I just want those leaves down the bottom. How lovely that is. So you can go as crazy as you like on this. There's a whole area here that might really benefit. But doesn't that look better? It's about bringing that consistency across. And I probably, instead of using black, could have used blue, because my dad's got a blue jumper on, blue glasses. But that's okay. I'm happy with that. All right, guys, this layout is done. We have followed the sketch down to the T today. But like I say, any element that you are wanting to create, maybe you've gone to a castle for the day, or maybe you've gone to an air show, you could do this with an aeroplane, you know, like you really can. And don't get stuck on the fact that I can't create that shape, because you can go on to Word, you can find a shape that you want, you can print it out on a bit of A4, and then you can just cut the inside. Just remember that you're cutting the inside. And it's easy, very, very easy to do. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off. If you're in the kit program, jump straight in there now. It'll probably take me just a couple of minutes just to change it over. But I will see you all, guys, on Sunday night for the next live. And we'll be using some of these because they are gorgeous. They really are. So this is volume 4. It's a great book, very in-depth, texture, and lots of ideas in there. All right, guys, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now. Bye.